view, I'm not looking.
And that's religious. It is.
Well, it's a religion, really, to back up a little bit, the evolution of the intellect in Homo sapien, which we're so proud about, that distinguishes us. The Latin root of the intellect is intellectus, which is the ability to distinguish the difference between. That's what it means. Our ability to distinguish the difference between, that we can make linear judgments and make relative judgments of how things are far away, and can compute distances, etc., mathematically. Religion, the Latin root of religion is relegare, which is to relink. And intellectus is the ability for us to distinguish ourselves separate and apart from everything else in the universe, and that we can then start to compute how our relationship is to everything, so we can control it and manipulate it, right? Relegare is to relink us back together, so that our consciousness that appears to be separate and apart from everything else can link back in to the unified field of all consciousness in the universe. And so that religion is something much more profound, actually, than just a series of social or cultural beliefs. But the problem is that the latter have come to be substituted for true religion. That what they call it civil religion, civic religion. That here, our country, right or wrong, it's that Christian nationalism. That our country has been endowed by the God of Jacob, Abraham and Jacob, and that we're the preeminent country of the world, and we're destined to all that stuff. That's civil religion, they call that. It's not the same thing as metaphysical consciousness. It's a different thing. It's its own thing. And there's value that when you figure that the of course all the Christian churches, of course, began as the Catholic Church. I mean, before the Protestant Reformation.
That's right.
Right, and so that in the Catholic Church, that what they did is they just decided that they were going to keep all this stuff secret, all the capabilities of the human body, the kind of extra capacities that we have to levitate and to potentially bilocate.
When did they decide that? Council of Nicaea?
The Council of Nicaea, for example, struck down reincarnation. That was one of the major decisions they made, is to outlaw belief in reincarnation. But there were a lot of other belief systems that they excluded. And what they were basically telling people is that, look, the capabilities that were displayed by Jesus of Nazareth, and they wouldn't talk about Lao Tzu or the Buddha or any of the other adepts, but they say, but the Jesus, our guy, is able to transpose, water into wine. He's able to levitate. He's able to walk on water. He's able to heal people with his hands. But these are all siddha. I mean, these are fairly well-known siddha in the ancient Eastern traditions. And here's this guy that can do this in Western civilization. And what the Catholic Church has done is said, look, let's be clear. This is the only guy that can do this, right? Okay, he's our guy, and he can do this. You can't do this. Okay, we're the church. We're going to intervene between you and the Godhead, and we're going to communicate to you. We're going to tell you what's going on here. Okay, but you do what we tell you to do. You be good citizens. You obey Caesar. And there was the Constantinian Compromise that the Catholic Church entered into, and so the Catholic Church became an organ of the state. And that they hid a lot of these secrets about our human family and our capacities that are more exposed in the Eastern traditions, in the Hinduism and Buddhism, etc. Hinduism knows that there's something like 256 different levels of consciousness. There's all kinds of scientific writing about this in the ancient languages. So what they've done is the Catholic Church created a whole set of mythologies that when 99% of all of the people at that time were completely illiterate. I mean, they didn't travel more than 50 miles away from the point where they were born.
They had an ivory tower around information.
Didn't know anything, and so the scholarship and knowledge and reading and stuff were all confined to the people in the church and the priests and the